Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello students, how are you all? Hope that you people are staying safe at home and even enjoying your time in good activities at home. Okay, in my today's topic, we will talk about carbon sinks. And previously, if you people remember, we have talked about the carbon cycle in detail, which was the 5-step processes. Two steps are involving you can say in the absorption of the carbon, and 3 steps are involving in the release of the carbon. So our today's term carbon sinks is depending upon our carbon cycle topic. Carbon sink is basically a place where the excessive amount of the carbon can be stored. You can say that carbon sink is like a reservoir. A reservoir is a place which is storing the excessive amount of the carbon from the surrounding, and then according to need the organisms are utilizing this carbon source. So we call it carbon sink. If we talk about the carbon reservoirs or the carbon sinks, two things are acting as a carbon sinks. One is the ocean and other is the forest. Now, first of all, we will talk about ocean as a carbon sink. Again, carbon sink is a place where the excessive amount of the carbon is stored. Now we will talk about that how oceans are supposed to, you can say, absorb, how oceans are supposed to absorb or save the excessive amount of the carbon. Basically, two processes are going here in the ocean is a place where it's a water. So one is the solubility and other is the photosynthesis. I will tell you what is happening in the solubility. Solubility is a process in which the carbon can dissolve inside the water. Now, in the same water, the water plants are living that we call phytoplanktons. Phytoplanktons are the water plants which live inside the water, and they are getting this carbon from the water in which they are living. And other, how they are utilizing this carbon dioxide, the phytoplanktons are doing the photosynthesis, and we know that this carbon dioxide is the major reactant for the process of photosynthesis. So inside the oceans, solubility, due to solubility, the carbon dioxide is being absorbed, or the carbon is being absorbed inside the water, and due by the process of the photosynthesis, it is being utilized properly for the manufacturing of the food. Okay, one point is very important here. For this purpose, because if we will directly send this carbon dioxide into the or if this carbon dioxide will directly go into the surrounding air, it will add in the you can say process of heat there. The heat will be the temperature or the heat will be rises in our surrounding, and it can leads toward the global warming. So how we can sort it out this problem? For sorting out this problem inside the oceans, we should use the iron components, the other different components of the iron. If we can just put them in the sea water, those iron components will enhance the new growth of the water plants there, and the more and more number of the water plants will be there, it can absorb all the excessive amount of the carbon from the water, and it can utilize in a very good purpose, that is called the photosynthesis. And in this way we can even reduce the global warming that is happening due to the excessive amount of the carbon there. Okay, now come toward the second point, forest as a carbon sink. Forest, yes, forest are is a place where huge number of the plants, huge number of the trees are there. And yes, forest can be a good reservoir for the carbon to absorb. Why it's a good reservoir? Because forest is a place where more and more number of the trees are present. The more number of the trees are present, they are doing more photosynthesis there. And even for the process of that photosynthesis, now they are utilizing directly this carbon as a reactant and just converting it into a very useful and the important product that we call photosynthesis. So I guess my idea become very clear to you people, that how we can reduce the greenhouse gases here. We can reduce the greenhouse gases in such a way that we can add more plants so that it can absorb the carbon dioxide, it can absorb the heat from the surrounding, and it can utilize that carbon dioxide and the heat in a good process of the photosynthesis, and then the good process of the photosynthesis can have a better impact in our surrounding. It can give us the glucose, it can release excessive oxygen, and it is having the better cooling effect on our surrounding. So this is all about our topic, carbon sink. Once again, I'm repeating, carbon sink. Sink is a place where we can store the water. So carbon sink is a place where we are storing the excessive amount of water. Okay, now I think so we can go for the reading of this topic. For this purpose, open your book Biology Matters and we can have the proper reading of it. Okay.